far along the road to recovery from the impacts of the earthquake and tsunami. And we're proud, our Flight of Friendship group is proud to have done what little we could. But Japan still struggles to this day with grasping the entirety of the impacts from the meltdowns of Fukushima. Some of you may ask, why do I care? Well, I am Nikkei. These events are part of my heritage. Egusa is actually, as in the introduction, an unusual Japanese name from the Hiroshima area. My father gave this heritage to me as it was given to him within the confines of the internment camp of Gila River, Arizona. Also, on August 6, 1945, my great aunt, a junior in high school, was helping reinforce coastal fortifications outside Hiroshima, and so survived a fate that most of her classmates, still back in school, did not. I'm not sure if it's that I feel some modicum of personal guilt for knowing what I know, or if it is just the natural guilt any living soul might feel as they stroll through the Hiroshima Peace Park. We all have our own demons, but I have one more I'd like to share. For you see, in the early hours of December 7th, 1941, my great-uncle, Takashige Egusa, led a task force of 88 dive bombers into an enemy harbor, creating a chain of events that, 44 months later, ended in the mushroom clouds of nuclear devastation. I realize now that natural disasters are indeed tragic, but it is a bit sadder for all of us when we witness a tragedy we've bestowed upon ourselves. Let us learn. Thank you.
The second song, we like to look at the beach where we find the coconut. Where did it come from? Maybe it came from far away in the southern Pacific. But it came all the way here, carrying some peace inside. Maybe someday it will go back to its own country.
My essay is entitled On Cultural Roots of Peace and Violence, and here goes. Culture is at the root of today's global problems. Our perception of the world and our role in it are largely results of how we are conditioned to think as children. As long as we are taught to see people we disagree with as malevolent and dangerous, and as long as we allow ourselves not to question this, we will have weapons designed to hurt them. However, being that those we disagree with are living things like we are, by hurting them, we practice a form of self-mutilation. Depending on how dangerously we see others, The weapons we use against them can range from derogatory slurs to atomic bombs. In reality, these are both different versions of the same thing, existing on the same continuum, and we are just as capable of being dangerous as those we disagree with. We are all undeniably part of humanity, and so are all affected by each other. When we hear about a war in another country, that war is affecting us simply by us knowing about it. If we passively wait too long, that war may carve a path of destruction to us, leaving us with no one to turn to, because we turned away from them in their hour of need. It is, in a way, selfish to suggest that we must take care of the world for it to take care of us. However, this is ultimately the most efficient and peaceful way for societies the world over to function together. If we all do our best to make the world the best place it can be, we will all benefit. Though we are all human, we do not need to be the same in all aspects. Our diverse lifestyles, appearances, and religions are beautiful and create learning opportunities. To coexist harmoniously, though, we must be unified on certain things. We must respect each other as equals and know how to resolve conflicts benevolently, while knowing that the person we are butting heads with has a head just like we do, and within it are feelings, reasons, and ideas that are held to be important just as we hold ours to be. We must sometimes agree to disagree, while pragmatically reaching for idealism. If a society is to have harmony with its neighbors, it must first have harmony within itself. As long as societies foster even subtle violence and inequality, and as long as these things are unflinchingly accepted as natural, those societies will be harming themselves from within, as well as harming those around them. Harmful problems cannot be removed from a society like a malfunctioning organ can be surgically removed from a body. We must holistically resolve problems within their full social context. War and weapons cannot become things of the past without rethinking and fixing the cultural beliefs that create them. To fix violent cultures at their root, we must learn the importance of respecting and celebrating people's differences. Differences must not be a source of fear and distrust. Likewise, disputes must not be sources of anger, but of learning and expanding awareness. These tenets must be absorbed into all cultures that lack them in any degree, and must be made reality as quickly as possible. Peace can be carried in many different vessels, including poverty relief programs, social justice programs, weapons reductions programs, democratic societies, and day-to-day kindness. For humanity to successfully move towards peace, we must each first do so ourselves and help others to as well. Thank you.
We're honored to have a local band. They've begun to get some national reputation, prestige, some controversy. They're a primarily Asian American band that really challenges stereotypes, gets our conscience burning, thinking, moving. And during these days and times where we are honoring the sacrifice and the tragedies that we have faced and our world has faced, we're reminded of the opposite of tragedy, which is joy, and the need to be able to sustain our work for the long term, to be able to balance these things out. And so the organizers of this program are really intentional about creating space, not only to hear the stories of suffering and of pain, but also to be able to express ourselves with the love and joy that is in our hearts. So before we have the slants come on, I ask you to join me in a moment of reflection and prayer. Dear Spirit of Life, God, who we know by many names, and by many names is known among us, strengthen our hearts to resist fear that turns to hate. Strengthen our minds to broaden our awareness of humanity, to help us see each other as neighbor, community, and family. Strengthen our hands so we may hold each other and have the power of working together. May it be so. Blessed be.
It's fun playing and seeing like Veterans for Peace flags everywhere. That's awesome. Yeah, we are definitely for peace here. Was it any of the vets still around? Any of you guys served in the Vietnam War or anything? Many of you did. Yeah, I was born in Saigon. I was born during the war, so I know what you're talking about.